Hi guys, Don Rice here, working on a Zeroli Corsair, and I've basically finished all of the engineering and construction on this airplane except for the canopy. So I thought I'd just take a few minutes here and talk to you guys about what the plan is for this canopy, and I'll give you occasional updates as time goes on. Long time ago I showed you this mechanism here, that this is the trolley that will pull the canopy back and forth and whatnot. I think we've also seen this. This is the main backbone of the canopy, and it's essentially two pieces. I've got them joined right now with some 1/32 inch plywood spacers in there, just to create a little bit of space as for when I glue this whole mess together. And so this is not glued in place yet. That's the canopy. It's just been rough cut. It is not to its final shape yet. But that'll sit on there like that. Right now it's resting on the fuselage back here, but it's really not going to be long enough to get back there when I get done with all the final cuts. And then that goes on top of it like that. So the challenge here, or the thing that's kind of been delaying me from making any progress here, is making sure I don't fuck up the order of operations, because that's reasonably critical. My intention is for the canopy, I need to somehow understand exactly where this cut line needs to be made, where the separation happens. And I then want this hoop, this backbone here, is essentially the outline of this matches the outline, the outer diameter of this canopy. And so what I would really love to have happen is for this canopy glass to be inset into this frame. And so the intention is that I will eventually, I don't know if we're going to be able to see this, but you might be able to see a little bit of a shelf right here. I just took a pass down this with a Dremel tool. I'm going to need to work on that a lot more, but what I'm thinking is that I will continue to remove material here from the front side of the front hoop and from the back side of the back hoop, so that this glass will set down into a little shelf that goes all the way around this hoop without actually being visible from the face. So these mating faces are the things that we're going to be able to see really clear when this thing is sitting in the pits and the canopy's open. You know, you can see the face of this rear hoop. I don't want you to be able to see the clear glass canopy. All you should see is this hoop and then this coming down right on top of it, and that's it. Because the glass in the real one were pieces. They were individual pieces that were sandwiched between the metal pieces. So I'm kind of trying to figure out how to do that. So that's one issue. The other issue is this trolley that I made. I've come to realize that these brass pieces, which are currently screwed into these G10 pieces, which are, if we look over here, these thick G10 pieces. So these straddle a carbon piece that's coming up out of this brass rail, and transfers the motion. So, but I think what I'm going to end up having to do is I'm going to move this brass piece, and it's got to actually connect to the hoop structure. It's got to connect to this guy, and so I will need to inlay. I'll have to build a shelf, cut a shelf into this for the brass to lay in. Right now, the shape of this, if we look really close, there is about a 1/16 of an inch between here and the outer surface of the fuselage. That 1/16 of an inch is my intention is for that. 1/16 isn't the right amount, but it's some amount. My intention is for this piece, when it lays on there, when I glue all this stuff together, this will be a perfectly smooth, flush transition. So I've got to get the brass trolley piece attached to the hoop and inset so that it doesn't have any effect on the way this looks, and I need to get the glass inset into these hoops as well. Okay, that's the plan. Back in a minute.